This is episode 4 of the 4-part series called Sexless Relationship. I am Dr. Glover. I'm a couples psychologist that works with couples to help with everyday intimacy issues, including sexless relationships. So what does healing from sexless relationship look like? Sex has to matter for both. And both of you have to decide that sex is important and it matters in your relationship. One of the most beautiful things about a relationship is that sex is also a vehicle that reinforces the bond that you have in your relationship. And when both of you decide that sex matters to you, that both of you are carrying this together and it not falling onto the shoulders of one person or the other. And the second piece of this is that pleasure has to be at the center of the sexual experience. So if you have obligatory sex, meaning that y'all are both having sex just because you're filling a quota because it's been so long, that kind of sex actually prevents both of you feeling closer and safer. If we invite pleasure as the core experience, everything around sex has to move you towards pleasure. If it is moving you towards pressure, guilt, shame, not good enough, then you are not actually engaging in sex that is pleasurable. You are in fact creating a dynamic where you will go back into the old patterns of a sexless relationship. My first video, I talked about the accelerator and brake system, where every human being has a system inside that allows them to move towards sex, the excitation, or inhibits their system from having sex. One of the biggest things that influences the ability to move towards sex versus completely putting on the brakes is safety. Emotional, physical safety in the relationship actually can be the crucial piece of a relationship moving towards more sex. So how does one feel safe? How do both people feel safe in a relationship around sex? The first piece of it is that the entirety of sex cannot be put on one partner over the other. And I mentioned this in my previous episodes where one partner is always the one initiating and thus always feeling like they're being rejected, or the other partner feels like they are broken and damaged, and so they end up having to adopt the entire sex for both themselves and their partner and move this vehicle along. So in order for both of you to be at the same place, you both have to realize that both of you are responsible for navigating the issues that is creating a blockage in sex. The second thing is identifying what creates the brakes to be engaged. When you can take away the personal responsibility, aka I am fundamentally broken, I am damaged, I'm not good enough, we can remove those messages and instead look to our environments. We can have a better sense of what is causing the brakes to be engaged. For example, couples who've been together and have life changes like a busy job or parenting or caregiving, those things are contexts that can engage the brake system in the sex. And so if you can identify what's happening on the outside that is perpetuating the engagement of the brake, both of you can work together on figuring out how to reduce it so that your partner can actually engage in the sex. Notice that this approach isn't you're at fault, you're doing it wrong, you're not asking it in the right way, or you're not asking me in the right time. Instead, both of you are becoming curious and looking to your environment to figure out what is causing this engagement of the brakes. It's really important to be able to carve out time where you can explore this together. So even just creating date night where there is just a bunch of kissing, touching, something that doesn't immediately turn into sex but creates an invitation. Having confidence around sex is by giving both of you opportunities to be able to just discover and explore. The spontaneous sex that you once had where you would just think it and it would just happen and all of a sudden you were ready. Those experiences starts to diminish for a lot of couples, especially in women. And so if you find yourself trying to compare yourself to the way that you were in the beginning, where you would just think it and you just want sex, those days aren't necessarily gone. It just means that you need a different stimulation. Part of that is you want to water the garden long before you actually get to that place. You want some preparation, so talking about it really helps, where there isn't this expectation of sex, but an invitation for there to be some type of enjoyment. How can couples tell that they're healing? One of the things is that they can talk about sex. It becomes easier to talk about. Maybe it's even more enjoyable. And there's a sense of safety knowing that you can express yourself. Understanding and respecting your partner's brake system, that their brake system is not a rejection, but it is information in how to disengage their brake system. You notice that you are feeling more and more connected because sex felt like such a lonely island where one person had to solve all of the sexual intimacy in the relationship. Now it's shared. And because it's shared, you feel closer to your partner. And finally, going to sex therapy is probably one of the best options. You will see an incredible relationship flourish, especially in your sexual intimacy. If you found this video helpful, I encourage you to follow me for more. And until next time.